gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome you back to the channel here on YouTube.com. As of course you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. And today, we are doing it all over again. We are live on YouTube.com for the second ever annual special edition StormsStream right here on YouTube.com. And today I have yet another fan with me. Please welcome Devin Crawley, also known as @Russell97 from Instagram. What is up?
What's up?
All right, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of good topics out here in the wrestling world, and we're going to start by, unfortunately, reviewing Monday Night Raw, even though nobody wants to talk about Monday Night Raw after what happened last night. But regardless, we're going to have to acknowledge the trash that was Monday Night Raw. So, Monday Night Raw started off with Roman kicking off the show. What else is new? Guy's trash. Guy's absolutely trash in every way, shape, and form. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The guy has no value in his current state. Basically, this ended with Roman Reigns saying that, you know, Bobby Lashley isn't the guy, I'm the guy, same old scripted bullshit. And then we had Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler interrupt. They beat down Roman, and then Rollins saved the day. What are your thoughts on this segment, Devin?
Oh my god, I don't even know, cause I'm not sure if it's over pushed or least pushed that he had 2 matches in one night. I could think that maybe they could think better than that. You know, just have Roman I don't like Roman. I'm not his biggest hater either, but still, come on now.
Yeah, right. 2 matches in one night. I mean, put it this way. I get that some people have had 2 matches in one night, but I mean, those are the types of people that the people genuinely want to see. I mean, put it this way. I know Daniel Bryan had 2 matches in one night at WrestleMania. I know Seth Rollins had 2 matches in one night, but those are people that we genuinely want to see. And I say this all the time. Roman Reigns gets go-away heel heat, which means he genuinely doesn't want to be seen. But before we get into a rant about that, let's move on. Then we had Curtis Axel defeating Matt Hardy. You know something? I'm gonna say this. It wasn't a bad match. But WWE isn't really doing anything to genuinely interest us in this storyline. Now, ultimately, I could end up being wrong, and the match at Extreme Rules could end up being a decent match, but from what they're putting forth, it's not really doing anything. The match wasn't bad, but it really didn't offer anything. Curtis Axel won. What were your thoughts on this?
I'm loving the B team right now. They also were he got injured, but they didn't say it for car accident because, it's spooky voodoo, and they can't really say,
That was a good way to cover it up. I gotta give him that. And listen, I really have no problem with the B team. I don't, but they aren't really doing anything of substance on Monday Night Raw. They haven't really proven that they really deserve to win the Raw Tag Team titles just yet, because Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, they really haven't had a proper run with it, and it's really too early for the B team because it doesn't really seem like they're getting over at this rate. I mean, I got nothing against them. I actually like both of them, but they're not really doing too much.
Yeah, whatchamacallit? With the whole Matt Hardy thing, it says, I read a thing, this was a while ago, but they, apparently WWE has lost all interest in the tag team. Look at SmackDown, besides Kane and Daniel Bryan, what was going on before then? The Blood Brothers Club, just Carla and getting a surprise win.
I get what you're saying, but that's really all WWE's fault. That they just lost effort in the tag team division, which is quite sad because you take a look at some of the tag team matches that NXT produced in the last couple of months, and you're like how could they mess this up? It's ridiculous. But anyway, let's move on from that. Then we had a segment with Roman and Lashley, and Lashley spoke the truth again. Lashley spoke the truth. What? You gonna come out with a big S on your shirt, like you're Superman? You're gonna come out and you're gonna be all high and mighty? He's basically saying what we're all saying. Bobby Lashley was speaking the truth, and Bobby basically said, aside from Rollins, no one likes you, Roman. I mean, you want us to feel sorry for Roman, but yet you're having Bobby Lashley drop truth bombs night in and night out. And I'm not even that big of a fan of Bobby Lashley because he hasn't really done anything since he came back. But even Bobby has an edge over Roman. What were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, because I've been noticing a lot, like, they'll acknowledge, like, what the fans say, but they still keep doing it. Like, for example, after SummerSlam last year, they had The Miz going to say Roman has everything handed to him, but, like, he's still, like, he's not getting, like, big, world title every single night or kind of thing, but at the same time, like, they're still, like, just, he's always, like, on the show. He doesn't miss one show.
I mean, like, what are you going to do at this rate? I mean, like, WWE is basically, trying to build this this story about how Roman is the conquering hero, but yet every single person who comes across him is ultimately going to get cheered because no one genuinely wants to see Roman. But anyway, we're moving on to Bayley and Sasha going for counseling. Dr. Shelby is back, and if it wasn't for Dr. Shelby, this would have been completely garbage. It was garbage, but Dr. Shelby was kind of the cherry on top of the pile of garbage, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
it's
anyway,
like,
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
No. It's sort of like, I'm trying to think of an example. It's sort of like, Hulk Hogan, Rock and Stone Cold, but like at WrestleMania 30, but like bad. Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold is like, it could have been good even without him, but he just made it like even better. Like Dr. Shelby made it better, but the segment was still bad.
Yeah, the problem is that like it really isn't just this segment. It really has to do with every segment. Almost every segment that WWE really puts forth, they don't really put that much effort into it. And when they put effort into something like Roman Reigns, what happens? It blows up in their faces. They really got to put more effort into something other than just the things that they want to see succeed. But anyway, that happened.
Like,
what happened? What'd you say?
Like, why is Kurt Angle not making talk to Sasha to take counseling after all the time she attacked Bayley? And, like, Bayley said it one time, I'm not sure if it was earlier or later on the show, Braun Strowman goes and flips over Kevin Owens' car.
I was going to bring that up. But anyway, this ended basically with Dr. Shelby just screaming enough before a to be continued came on the screen. So we all know that it is going to be a miserable couple of weeks heading into Extreme Rules and possibly SummerSlam.
Yeah. I know this is one of the topics, but since we're talking about Raw, who do you think that challenger will be Roman or no?
No, it will.
For the Universal title?
It has to be because, put it this way.
You think Roman...
What?
No, you go ahead.
I'm saying, no, you cut out there. I didn't know what you said. What were you saying?
I was saying, do you think Roman will be the next challenger? Or do you think like a SummerSlam for Lesnar, or do you think it'll be someone else?
At this rate, from the way that they're laying it out, it's going to be Roman because you take a look at what Rollins is doing right now, and you thought that you would think that since Rollins is still in the IC title picture, that it would basically open the door up for Roman at this rate. And, they canceled that multi-man match because Vince McMahon didn't really want it. The only way that I'm going to accept Roman Reigns as the number one contender is if he is number one contender and if he wins. The only way I will accept it is if Braun Strowman immediately marches down to the ring after Roman Reigns beats Lesnar and cashes in his Money in the Bank contract. Other than that, I think the challenger should either be Balor or Rollins.
Yeah, like I'm really going for Rollins because what's it called? Rollins is like my favorite wrestler. I'm not saying he should be pushed to like the limit, but I'm saying even though he gets a lot of what he like earned, I think he like needs a world title.
Oh no, no, without a doubt.
Picture.
Without a doubt, he deserves it. But the reason why I said Balor is because Rollins is already established. But Balor, he really needs that one win to catapult him into superstardom. And I think a win over Lesnar and getting the Universal title back would really do him well. Plus, you can have Balor hold the title from SummerSlam to Clash of Champions in December. You could have Rollins take the title off of him. You could set up for Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. And then you could have Strowman cash in then. Then you could set up for Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Now, that would be
this
good.
Is my idea. Have, at SummerSlam, Balor versus Rollins versus Lesnar. But think about it, Balor and Rollins were like the first two Universal Championship contenders. Balor never got his rematch. And what they could do is, I know this doesn't sound good, but just wait. Have Brock Lesnar win and everyone be all mad, but then have Strowman go and cash in. Brock Lesnar's gone, and then have him feud with either Balor, Rollins, or McIntyre.
I actually really have no problem with that. That's not a bad idea at all. I mean, that's a hell of a lot better than having a third match with Roman and having Roman get another contender for worst match of the year. But anyway, let's move on. Then we had the Authors of Pain defeating Titus Worldwide. You know something about this? This is what really pisses me off, because if these two teams were given the time, they could put on a damn good match. They could put on a damn good match, but yet WWE doesn't give them the time. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, like, the Authors of Pain, they aren't great wrestlers. They're powerhouses.
They're not bad in the ring at all. I mean, they've had some great matches.
Like, they're not great wrestlers. They're good wrestlers, and like by good, I mean like they're meant to be powerhouses, not meant to be doing all Daniel Bryan, Rollins, or Ziggler or whatever. Because like the big guys.
Yeah, but still, like they could have a good match with Titus Worldwide, especially with Apollo Crews, because Apollo was like one of the most underrated talents that they got.
Oh, just to say that because I don't think many people realize this. Titus for a big man, he's actually pretty good. He just gets underused. Same with like Apollo. Like Apollo could have a good mid-card career if he wanted to, like or if they wanted to.
Absolutely.
Not a world title, but just solid, like say Mr. Perfect IC title reign kind of thing.
Even a U.S. title would fit good on Apollo.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on here to Roman and Rollins versus Ziggler and McIntyre. This was actually turning into a very good match, but it ended in a no contest because the Revival attacked, and then the heels stood tall, and the Revival got a one more time chant when they gave a Shadow Machine to Roman. What were your thoughts on this?
I actually kind of didn't like this. Like, the Revival, they're using it, like, finally, but not in a good way, where, like, you prefer them not do it and not use them.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. They you know, it really is sad. Like, same thing, the Revival's another team. The Revival you can put in there with teams like Titus Worldwide, the Leaders of Worlds, Authors of Pain, even the B team, and I think the Revival could bring a good match out of these guys, but they just don't give them the opportunity. And that, I think that's partly because they got injured, and you know WWE, when someone gets injured, 99% of the time, they don't have plans for people who come back from injury.
Mm-hmm. Like Sami Zayn, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do with him whenever he comes back? They just go, I'm back, and go and give Bobby Lashley a dick punch.
Put him in the Intercontinental Championship title picture. You would make a great Intercontinental Champion.
Yes, I actually want like he's on the main roster since like 2015, 2016. He hasn't even got really even close to winning the title.
He's gotten close, but they just haven't given it to him.
I mean, they had a whole Jinder Mahal thing last year, but
don't even remind me.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Don't even remind me. But that was that. Corbin then addressed the issue with Balor. Balor then came out. You know, Balor he basically was, making fun of Corbin with his TGI Friday jokes, and then they brawled. I'm assuming that that's going to be taking place at Extreme Rules. You know what? Put it this way. Let me tell you something about these two. WWE ruined these two. Absolutely ruined these two to the point where I actually think that these two are going to have a bad match at Extreme Rules. And that hurts me to say because Finn Balor, he's one of the best performers on Raw right behind Seth Rollins. But
yeah, because I can't remember who it was, but I think it was Strowman and Kevin Owens versus Constable Corbin and Balor. And literally my dad walked in and he looked at Baron Corbin and he goes, who is this loser?
It's ridiculous. And you realize that I would have loved to seen those two compete in NXT. I would have loved to seen Balor versus Corbin for the NXT Championship. But now we're getting it on the main roster, and I don't even want to see it. It's ridiculous. And I'm actually a fan of Baron Corbin. I actually see a lot of potential in Baron Corbin. I actually enjoyed his U.S. title reign, and I was kind of pissed that they took it away from him so early.
Yeah, I know, because I think because why even have the Dolph Ziggler win it and just vacate it? Why don't you just have Baron Corbin go and hold it to the Royal Rumble or just lose it on SmackDown to Bobby Roode?
Exactly. But anyway, that was that. Ember Moon then defeated Liv Morgan. Nothing really special there.
I barely even pay attention to that match, to be honest.
And then Ember Moon should have been the woman to win Money in the Bank, and she should have cashed in on Nia Jax, and we should be getting Ember Moon versus a heel Sasha Banks at SummerSlam for the Women's Championship. Then Ember Moon should have lost the title to Ronda Rousey at the Royal Rumble next year, and then they could have set up for Rousey and Charlotte.
Yeah. You know what? Alexa Bliss,
She's trash.
I would have maybe been fine with it if she didn't cash it on the same night. I maybe would have.
I wasn't fine with it no matter what. I cannot stand Alexa Bliss. She can't wrestle.
I know she's really annoying. No, just because the whole thing with the Ronda Rousey promo or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Her promos aren't even good anymore. Her promos have become cringe and annoying. She's treading Carmella levels.
What's it called? Like, Carmella's good. She's just annoying.
No, she's not. No, Carmella's not good. She's not good at cutting promos. She can't wrestle. She had a 1-star match with Charlotte of all people, man.
1 star? I didn't even know that was the rating.
1 star. And then get this. Then get this. You know her match with Asuka? Her match with Asuka was 1.5. So Carmella's not good.
What's it called? Wait, hold on. What was I saying? I forgot. No, about Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
I think what they could have done is maybe waited till let's say TLC or Survivor Series, sometime around that time.
Yeah.
But they could have let her maybe gain a little bit more momentum, not because even though it's only happened 3 times, I feel like WWE's having cashed on the same night or cashing in right after they win the Money in the Bank. Think about it. Baron Corbin, he cashed in his only a month and a half after he won
2 months.
2 months?
Yeah.
Okay. But they had Dean Ambrose cash in 2 years ago, and then on the same night, and now they're having Alexa Bliss do it. I think it's becoming more of a common thing, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah, they really got to hold it. I'm telling you, it should have been. Baron Corbin shouldn't have cashed in at SummerSlam. Baron Corbin should have cashed in. Probably. Maybe even at WrestleMania. You could have had AJ Nakamura at WrestleMania when Nakamura is WWE champion, and you could have had Baron Corbin do the same thing that Rollins did.
Or I think maybe make it even more unpredictable. Maybe have him cash in at Fastlane.
It wouldn't have been bad. But anyway, that's that. Roman and Lashley versus The Revival, that ended in a no contest. Lashley walked off. The Revival beat down Roman to one more time chance, and then Roman wanted Lashley, and the match was made official for Extreme Rules. I did not care for any of this, and I think that Roman Reigns is going to have yet another contender for worst match of the year. He's had 2 with Lesnar, he's had 1 with Samoa Joe, and he's had 1 with Jinder Mahal, the one with Jinder Mahal being the worst match of the decade, might I add.
I'm not sure, but I think the Zayn and Lashley, like I barely paid attention to that in Money in the Bank, along with the gender versus like every gender every gender match for pay per view. No, you got like some Raws and Smackdowns. All it is Sunil Singh just going and distracting the opponent, then gender getting a roll up.
Or a
Pretty much
Colossus.
every one of his matches.
It's ridiculous, man, but that's basically Jinder Mahal. Like he's another one that's receiving go away heel heat, but WWE refuses to acknowledge it.
Yeah, he's actually not like bad. He's just getting used bad.
Yeah, but
because like I'm not sure if I'm like it's funny because he's like WWE champion. Like he's not on top of WWE, but like, he's doing pretty like okay.
He wasn't ready for the title.
When I actually met him once and knew that like a really cheap autograph. Like really, I met at their AJ Styles for like $20, $40. This is before he was in WWE, and they had Jinder Mahal here. Like this was after he got fired or whatever, and literally we had to go and buy an extra autograph, which was like $4 because Jinder didn't have any change. Like Jinder didn't have any change, so we had to go and like it was like $15, but like we had to go and buy an extra autograph, so it'd be like 20. So they didn't have any like change, and it was just like, what? Now look at him.
That's crazy if you think about it. But anyway, moving on. Mojo basically attacked No Way Jose and the Conga line. No one really cared about that. Then we had what?
Well, why wasn't Todd the cheeseburger anymore? Wasn't it like some black guy now?
Yeah. You know what I don't get? You bring up these guys from NXT, but you're not utilizing them correctly. And I don't think Jose is a bad wrestler. No Way Jose is actually a pretty decent wrestler. And I can see a solid mid-card guy in No Way Jose, but they're not doing anything with him.
Yeah.
But anyway, that happened. Alexa versus Nia is now made an Extreme Rules match, and then Nia defeated Mickie James. I didn't care. What are your thoughts on this? And we're getting close to the end, and then we can move on to some dream matches.
I couldn't even watch that because it's I most of the time like literally I was on Instagram about Raw or whatever. The next thing I know, I look up and then bam, Nia Jax and Mickie James. Like if it was good, I would have put down my phone and watched it.
Anyway, that was that.
No,
what
like
were you saying?
You know, it's bad when like okay, I already know this isn't gonna be anything special.
That was that.
And both are good wrestlers. That's been happening a lot. All these good wrestlers are getting just being bad.
Yeah, I know. They're just being put in shitty positions. But anyway, we had a backstage segment with Jinder Mahal and Kevin Owens, and I actually wrote down, even Shanti can't calm me down, because I was heated with anger from how bad this show was. You have Jinder Mahal in the background, breathing in and out, going, Shanti. And I said, even Shanti can't calm me down. Take Shanti and shove it up your ass, alright? Anyway, then we had the main event segment. Owens and Braun went 5 minutes and ended in a countout. Braun then trapped Owens in a porta potty and then knocked him off of the stage. And that was the end of Raw.
Yeah, in my opinion, maybe you should have had Rollins and Reigns versus Ziggler and McIntyre be the main event, and have that Strowman and Owens be maybe an hour 45 minutes into the show, not like the main event.
Yeah. But anyway, that was that. Thank God we got that out of the way, because that was miserable talking about that. But anyway, moving on to our next segment here on the StormsStream, and we're going to talk about cross-promotion dream matches, something that, like a couple matches that a lot of people genuinely want to see. So we're going to save the best for last, but let's start with Hiroshi Terahashi versus Seth Rollins. How would you book this dream match?
I would say have about 20 5-minute match, just back and forth, sort of like the what's it called? It's like the Bayley versus Sasha Banks at TakeOver Brooklyn 1, but from the men's style, it's like like false finishes, all like everywhere. Like I don't know much about Tanahashi, but like I'm starting to like him lately. I would say actually have Tanahashi win it.
Really? Well, who would be the face and who would be the heel?
I would say have um, Rollins be the heel actually.
Rollins does play a damn good heel, but
Yeah.
I would actually be genuinely interested to see this. I haven't really seen much of Terahashi, so I'm not too familiar with him, but I would love to see him in action, especially against Rollins. Next one, and I'll talk about this one, is Dalton Castle versus Aleister Black, and this is actually an interesting match because Dalton Castle was the one that you told me took the title off of Cody Rhodes, and I've really only seen one of his matches, and it really wasn't that long of a match, and it was really just a match where he just got to showcase his skills very quickly. I can't even remember which match it was. It was a while back, but I think Dalton Castle does have potential to succeed in the big leagues if they decide to recruit him. Versus Aleister Black, definitely. And I would actually have Dalton Castle be the heel since Aleister Black, he's just that good of a babyface, and he's kind of like the modern-day representation of The Undertaker. And when you compare The Undertaker to Aleister Black, you see a lot of that dark, ominous babyface like references when you compare them.
Yeah. Aleister Black kind of reminded me of the Ministry Undertaker gone right.
That was actually a pretty damn good storyline that they had back in the day.
It was, but like if you compare the Undertaker Undertaker's other characters to the Ministry of Darkness character, like I think like it's not exactly one of the highest on my list.
Drop my pen. What are you gonna do? It's a live stream. But anyway, I hear what you're saying there. Next is actually a match that people have wanted for a while, and it is the Usos versus the Young Bucks. People have wanted this for a while because we all know how great the Usos are. They showcased that throughout the entire year in 2017. And then we got the Young Bucks, who have pretty much been the best tag team in the world outside of the Usos, especially on the indie scene. Without a doubt, the best tag team on the indie scene. And we all know how great the Young Bucks are, just oozing charisma. They've had great matches here and there. And
this one, can I take it? I'll let you get the next one because I actually have a really good idea for this one.
Okay, I'm listening.
So they both do a lot of super kicks, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking to do that kind of the Usos taunt and try to super kick, but have one of the Young Bucks go and catch the foot, go and put it down real fast and go and double super kick to one guy.
I would actually like to see at least 6 super kick reversals in a row before they actually connect with a super kick, because I feel as though the super kicks really make these two teams, aside from their characters, the super kicks really make these two teams.
Yeah, for example, I was watching a Young Bucks documentary, and literally other ROH stars went and asked them, "Oh, hey man, is it okay if tonight I go and use the super kick in my match?"
Oh, wait a second. Was that where they were planning out their match and they were saying okay, this is how it's gonna be, they're gonna breathe the green mist in their face and they're gonna be super kicking everyone?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. But you got anything else for this match?
I think I'm just loving. I'm thinking of all the possible super kick spots. I mean,
I would make it a ladder match.
What they could. Oh yeah, I think maybe. Wait, did you say it could be a ladder match?
Yeah, make it a ladder match for one of the tag team titles.
Or it could be a TLC match, and one can be up on the ladder, and they could somehow it could be like WrestleMania 17 style and have 2 ladders up against each other and have double super kick and both of them fall through a table on both sides.
Super kick in midair.
Yeah.
Just that spot with Shawn Michaels and Shelton Benjamin on Raw.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. today is still one of the best, like, there's maneuvers or spots, like, in my
Super
opinion.
kick spots. One of the best super kick spots. But anyway, now, this is a dream match that I personally want, and a lot of people have been talking about. A lot of the wrestling fans that just really crave pure wrestling, they really want this match. And of course, I'm talking about AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega. There really is no other match that could really captivate an audience, and most of all, main event WrestleMania, than AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega.
I know. I'm going to take most of this one because, like, I could talk about it, but I think you'd be good with this one. I would actually not have it at Mania. I would have it at, Wrestle Kingdom.
To a certain extent, maybe, yeah, but since WrestleMania is the bigger stage and all that, they really do deserve the main event of WrestleMania. But AJ Styles and Kenny Omega, I think that this would probably be one of the best matches of the modern era. I think if you put these two in the ring, they would steal the show no matter what. You could put them in whatever match that you want, and they would make this match entertaining. This could be the only match on a wrestling card, and I believe that they would, without a doubt, put everyone in their seats and grab the attention of everyone, even if they were the only match on the card. This is one of those matches, one of the very few matches where you can say, this is the only match that you need. This is the only match that you need on a card. And let me tell you something. If Omega can put on those 5-star matches and 6-star matches with Okada and Jericho, then he could certainly do one with Styles. And if Styles can steal the show with guys like Ambrose and guys like Cena and guys like Nakamura at Money in the Bank, then he can certainly do the same thing with Kenny Omega. So I would very much love to see AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega down the line.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's move on with our next segment. We're going to talk about Extreme Rules and which type of stipulations should be on which matches. So let's talk about the two matches that do have stipulations. First things first, it's Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental title in a 30-minute Iron Man match. And then we got Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax in an Extreme Rules match for the Raw Women's Championship. So let's move on to Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley. Which stipulation would you choose for this match?
It would seem anticlimactic and boring.
Yeah.
But I think no. I didn't mean the match.
Sorry, you're cutting out. You're cutting out. Like I can't even.
Oh, sorry. Here we go. I would say maybe it seems boring. Even if it didn't have it from Lashley, maybe a tables match.
That won't be bad at all.
It can go wrong and it can go bad.
I would actually give it a no.
It can go wrong and it can go good.
I would actually give it a no holds barred match. At least spice it up just a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's that. Let's talk about Carmella versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship. What stipulation do you think this match should have?
Oh my god. Let's see. I would just have the regular Extreme Rules. It could go good with a tables match. I just said it for Roman and Lashley, but there's no really stipulation I can think of.
I would have it as a submission match with James Ellsworth banned from ringside.
Yeah.
And then I would have Carmella tap out within seconds to Asuka because she is awful. Anyway, that's that. Let's talk about Team Hell No versus the Bludgeon Brothers for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. What stipulation do you think that this match should have?
I could say a no DQ tag team elimination match.
That would actually be pretty good. And I'm going to add a stipulation on top of that. An elimination match, no DQ match, and a tornado tag team elimination no DQ match. So both members of each team are in the ring. It's elimination and it's no DQ. That would be a great stipulation for the Bludgeon Brothers versus Kane and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, but I know this wasn't a part of it. We're just doing stipulations. That's not my book. I have like Kane just like go and do some stuff. Like have Daniel Bryan do stuff too.
Yeah.
But since he's like smaller man or whatever, have Kane do most of the work. Have Daniel Bryan guessing and getting some kicks in. Have Daniel Bryan go and eliminate Harper, and then Kane. They're all Team Hell No's doing all good, and then have Rowan out of nowhere go and pin Kane 1, 2, 3, and then it's down for Bryan and Rowan for 10 minutes, and then Bryan goes and pulls the upset win.
No, I don't think Team Hell No should win. Team Hell No should not win. This needs to be a limited thing. I think that it should be Sanity that should take the titles off of the Bludgeon Brothers at SummerSlam, and Daniel Bryan should go on and face The Miz at SummerSlam.
Okay, that's actually my idea. I'm not like big Daniel Bryan. I like him, but
he's a main eventer, dude. He's a main eventer. He's not a tag team guy.
Have Bryan versus AJ at SummerSlam while Bryan's still tag champ. And then have Bryan become a double champion, but then on the next SmackDown he loses it. Him and Kane lose it to Sanity.
It's not bad, but anyway, that's that. And finally, the last match so far that's confirmed, because we're just talking about the matches that have been confirmed. AJ versus Rusev for the WWE Championship. I think it should just be a normal Extreme Rules match. What about you?
I think it should be a TLC match.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. But we got that. Now, let's talk about the WWE UK special. Now, the first night, that basically just consisted of the tournament with, the guys like Travis Banks and Flash Morgan Webster and Zach Gibson. Zach Gibson won, and I wasn't completely sold on him because I think that they would have given it to probably Travis Banks or Flash Morgan Webster, since they offer a little bit more than, Zach Gibson. But I'm not mad that they gave it to Zach Gibson, because what we got out of Zach Gibson and Tyler Bate in the main event of that UK Championship special was a damn good match. And Dave Meltzer actually rated it 4.25 stars. It was that damn good. But
yeah, I can't remember if he was in this or if it's like a previous thing. El Ligero was in it, right?
Yeah, Ligero was in it, but he was eliminated in the first round.
A lot of people, like I was talking to, they were thinking that El Ligero was going to go in and win the whole damn thing.
I wouldn't have been mad if Ligero won the whole thing, because I think that...
Because I used to watch a lot of WCPW versus before it became Defiant Wrestling, and they were really good. Like, and El Ligero was like one of like their top heels or whatever.
Oh, he was a heel? He was a heel?
He was a heel.
I actually thought he would have been a babyface.
No, he was a babyface, but then they did the old they went turned heel.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch some of his material, because I'm not too familiar with Ligero. But anyway, that was that on night one. But night two was something that I really enjoyed. The tag team title match between Mustache Mountain and the Undisputed Era was great, and Mustache Mountain ended up winning. And I'm actually not that mad that Undisputed Era lost, because I believe that giving another team an opportunity like Mustache Mountain, I think that would really do good for them. Plus, you take a look at Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate's doing pretty damn good for himself. He's already NXT Tag Team Champion and the first ever UK Champion. So you take a look at that. And you're like, man, damn, this guy's got a bright future. So congratulations to them. I actually think that the Undisputed Era will be winning the tag team titles back. I saw the spoilers on the NXT TV tapings.
Yeah,
But anyway, that's that. Then we had Charlie Morgan versus Killer Kelly. Charlie Morgan, this was basically just a showcase of what the women of the UK could do, and Charlie Morgan ended up winning in an upset fashion against Killer Kelly. Then we had the fatal four-way between Noam Dar, Travis Banks, Mark Andrews, and Flash Morgan Webster. I actually thought they were going to give this to either Mark Andrews or Flash Morgan Webster, because Mark Andrews, he's been the guy that I've been pitching to take the title off of Pete Dunne for a while now. And Flash Morgan Webster, the mod father, you take a look at him and you're like, this guy's oozing charisma, and the guy can wrestle a damn good match. But what were your thoughts on this match?
You know, I didn't watch too much of the UK special, but the film it was the number one contenders match, right?
Yes. So Noam Dar is the new number one contender for Pete Dunne's UK Championship. I don't know when though.
You know what? I think they did the right thing. Because Noam Dar, I've been loving him. He was a part of the god awful Zoe train.
Yeah.
Like Zoe train, complete utter garbage. I can spell out garbage for you if you want me to.
No, I think we've had enough of Enzo references for one day.
Yeah. And I just think that Noam Dar, I want him to beat Pete Dunne.
Really? You want Noam Dar to beat Pete Dunne? I don't really think... Look, Noam Dar is great, and, I got all the support in the world for Noam Dar, but I just really don't think that Noam Dar is the guy to do it, because they haven't really been building him up too much. But, you take a look at a guy like Mark Andrews, and you're like, this guy's well overdue. You can kind of pull him off as the Cinderella story, because Pete Dunne, he's basically like... they're basically portraying him as like a hard-hitting heavyweight at this rate, and Pete Dunne... He's just willing to beat the shit out of anyone and everyone.
Yeah, this is why I want Noam to win. He's been, ever since the Cruiserweight Classic, I've loved Noam Dar. I thought he should be Cruiserweight champion, and I think it'd be good to go, which I'm pretty sure they're doing, take him off 205 and put him on the NXT UK brand.
You could do both, because Mark Andrews pulled double duty. He was doing NXT UK, and he appeared on 205 Live. You could have Noam Dar do the same thing, because I really think that Noam Dar adds a lot of value to the Cruiserweight division, and you can really revisit his rivalry with Cedric Alexander, but without the cringe. You can actually have him legitimately compete over a championship, because the guy can go. The guy can compete. And if you put him in the ring and actually have him fight, and actually have him wrestle, and for the Cruiserweight Championship, it would be a damn good match and possibly a damn good Cruiserweight title run for him. But I don't really think that this is his time to become Cruiserweight Champion. What I do think is going to happen is I think that Cedric is going to end up losing the Cruiserweight title to Mustafa Ali at SummerSlam in a rematch from WrestleMania, and then Mustafa's going to lose the title to Drew Gulak by the end of the year. And then maybe you can build up Drew Gulak versus a guy like Leo Rush, and maybe you could build up Leo Rush versus Noam Dar. Regardless, the Cruiserweight division is looking pretty damn good, and I think Noam Dar would even add on top of that.
Yeah. The reason I think because Noam Dar, he could be revived because 205 got revived, but I think, if I'm being honest, whenever 205 was a shit show, Noam Dar had it worse.
Yeah, Noam Dar did have it bad, but right now that 205 is being revived, I really think that Noam Dar has a damn good chance of becoming a big star.
No, because this is why I don't want to, because, even if, you think about it, the Cedric Alexander feud, sure, they had good matches, but think about it, there was the whole Alicia Fox thing, and then you're reminded of that. And then the Cedric Alexander, the next tag match with Sasha and Reeves and the Cruiserweights.
Well, now that there's no Alicia Fox and no Sasha Banks and all that, there's no cringe. Now it's just legit competition with legit storylines. I mean, you take a look at the match that Cedric Alexander had with Buddy Murphy. And Buddy Murphy, he became the perfect definition of a badass heel for Cedric Alexander's never say die babyface attitude. You can do the same thing with Noam Dar.
Yeah, because I think, I was thinking, not Cedric Alexander, I was thinking, I think it was, okay, not really, but at the same time, I was thinking of the God feud back last summer with Rich Swann.
Yeah.
That was, I started hating Noam Dar just because of how awful that feud was.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone wants to be reminded of that. But anyway, he won the Fatal 4-Way, and that was a very nice surprise, and I'm happy for Noam Dar. I can't wait to see the match with Pete Dunne.
If I'm being honest, I think he should have like an NXT Takeover Chicago 1 style match with Dunn. There's back and forth, like false finishes, like crazy. Have Noam Dar win it and hold on to it for like 4 or 5 months, and then lose it to someone like Mark Andrews or Flash Morgan Webster.
It would be a pretty crazy upset where we'll find out how that plays out in the coming weeks for NXT television.
Yeah, but that's why I think they should do a contested title. Have Noam Dar win it for like 4 or 5 months, and then lose it to Flash Morgan Webster.
All right. Then we had Adam Cole versus Wolfgang for the North American Championship. And that's actually taking place on my TV behind me. Adam Cole versus Wolfgang for the North American Championship. Let me just say that Wolfgang's actually pretty underrated for a guy his size. He can do a lot of impressive moves. The match was actually pretty decent, and the right man won. I was actually hoping that Adam Cole was going to defend his title recently, and my wish was answered in that United Kingdom special when Adam Cole defeated Wolfgang in a North American Championship match. And now I think he's going into a feud with Ricochet, and Ricochet could be the guy to take the title off of Adam Cole.
You know what? It would be nice to see the North American title with someone else, but I think they should wait till the takeover after Brooklyn to lose it.
You want to wait till the takeover War Games before Survivor Series?
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but
because Adam Cole's already had a pretty long reign, and you take it to August, and that's like a 5-month long reign. That's like 140 days. That's pretty damn good title. That right there, that's a made title reign for me. And I don't really say that people should have like a CM Punk title reigns unless you're AJ Styles. Now Adam Cole's definitely worthy of that, but NXT is just so stacked that you need to capitalize on these guys when they're white hot right now. And I think Ricochet is one of those guys.
Actually, I take my statement back. Have him lose it at NXT taping or something with Sanity. But they held it for 4 months and they lost at NXT taping their tag titles.
Yeah.
Have to do something like that, or Ricochet or EC3 or Velveteen Dream.
Yeah. But anyway, after that, we had Aleister Black and Ricochet defeating EC3 and Velveteen Dream, and it was actually a pretty good match. It was pretty standard for all 4 men, but it was a great match altogether. And after that, we had what do we have after that? I think we had Toni Storm versus Shayna Baszler in Shayna Baszler's best match to date for the NXT Women's Championship, and Shayna Baszler won. This was Shayna Baszler's first NXT Women's title defense, third NXT, I said first, third NXT Women's Championship title defense, and I read the spoilers. She will be facing Kairi Sane at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, and what?
She won't or will?
She will. She will be facing Kairi Sane, and I think that's when Kairi Sane is going to win. And I think that Shayna Baszler is doing a great job at her character and her in-ring work right now. Shayna Baszler is doing a damn good job, and I can't wait to see what she does with Kairi Sane.
Yeah.
So that was that, and then the main event, a great damn match, and possibly one of the best matches of the entire month. And it was Pete Dunne versus Zach Gibson for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. I had a feeling that Pete Dunne was going to win this, but that did not stop these two from putting on a show stealer. My God, it was a damn good match.
Has Dave Meltzer rated it yet and gave it a high rating or no?
He gave it a 4.25 stars, which was well deserved. Well deserved in my mind.
I don't want to go into it too much, but I know that had nothing to do with the Xavier UK or anything. A whole rating system, Omega Okada, great matches, but you can't go over 5.
Well, here's the deal. I'm glad that you brought that up. I would not say going over 5 is illegal. Here's what I would say. What I think you should do is, and this goes for anyone, whether anyone wants to praise Dave Meltzer or bash Dave Meltzer for his star ratings, I don't think the guy is a god in any way, shape, or form. But the guy is honest, and here's what you should do. No matter if you like the guy or you hate the guy, nobody has the right to criticize him or praise him for his match ratings unless you have personally seen the match. Like, I have not seen the Omega versus Okada match that he rated 7 stars. I'm not subscribed to New Japan, nor am I subscribed to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. So I can't say anything, and nor can anyone else. Unless you've actually gone out and watched the match, you do not have the right to say that, Dave Meltzer's biased. If you go out and watch the match, you make your judgment. If it was worth 7 stars, then say, okay, it was worth 7 stars. If it wasn't, it wasn't. That is the fair thing to do. So no one can say anything about that.
Yeah.
So unless you've actually watched the match, you can't say anything about that.
Yeah. No, I can agree and disagree, but like the only reason which I would disagree is just like if you like there is a lot of people out there who are saying these things and have like or have seen it and are saying these things.
There are people that have seen it and are saying the same thing as you.
I have watched it. Sure, it was like a fantastic match, but still, I would say, even the max could be like, let's say like the max is already 5 stars, but I think you should keep it at, let's say, like if you're going over 5, keep it at like 5.50 or like 5.75, maybe 6. You know what I mean?
6 sounds reasonable, but again, I can't say anything because I have not seen the match. But regardless of that, that was basically the review of the UK special. I would say it was a damn good show. Night 2 felt like a takeover to me. And our final segment of this Storm Stream, and we are getting close to an hour. So we're going to talk about NXT and which superstars we think, personally, are going to have the most success on the main roster. So, first things first, we actually made a list. Let's talk about Toni Storm first. I see a lot of success in Toni Storm's future. She's going to be on the UK brand, and if the UK brand is anything like NXT, where you can be called up to the main roster, I see a lot of potential in Toni Storm, and she could definitely be that woman who really takes the women's division to the next level. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
I think Candice LeRae should. I think Toni Storm could be the next champion. I think Candice LeRae should just be like the next thing. Like have Shayna get like a rematch or two, and then have Candice LeRae go into a feud.
Candice LeRae wouldn't be bad. I mean, she could be on there as well. I mean, you take a look at Johnny Gargano, and Johnny Gargano definitely has a bright future on there as well. But then moving on, let's talk about EC3. EC3 hasn't really done too much, but I believe that's just mainly because that they haven't really presented him in a major feud. And I actually heard that, I think you were the one that told me this. You told me that PW Insider announced that it's supposed to be Velveteen Dream and EC3 at TakeOver Brooklyn 4?
Yeah, no, wait. Yes, 4. Yeah, it is. It is supposed to be. And apparently Johnny Gargano does not have a match on the TakeOver card.
That's not a problem to me. Because Johnny Gargano is basically selling this storyline with Tommaso Ciampa, so I really do not have a problem with that. But
yeah.
So we got that. I think EC3 is really going to come out of his shell, and EC3 is really going to showcase what he can do in that match with Velveteen Dream. Next, let's talk about Shayna Baszler. I think Shayna Baszler, she's doing much better than Ronda Rousey. I think Shayna Baszler, look, Ronda Rousey's great and all that. She's great. But Shayna Baszler, she's had everything down to a T in NXT. Her character, her promos, and now her matches are starting to get better and better. So I think Shayna Baszler has been doing a damn good job. And I think if they want to push Shayna Baszler as a top women's heel on SmackDown, since Ronda's already on Raw, they could definitely do that. Or if you really want to make things interesting, you could have Baszler versus Ronda for the Women's Championship at next year's SummerSlam.
Yeah, I actually like that because Baszler and Ronda, everyone's like, oh, they're UFC people and they're gonna fail. But in reality, they're like two of the best women on like the entire WWE and NXT roster.
Yeah, I know. They're certainly better than Carmella. Certainly better than Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
And my next person,
Oh,
our next person.
that, since we're talking about women who are failing, like Kamala Bliss, they have potential, but they're failing.
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt.
I mean, she was like my favorite. I'm starting to like her. I'm not liking her anymore just because of what Diddy's doing with her.
Who, Carmella?
Bailey.
Bailey. You know, yeah, I'm a little biased with Bailey because of the fact that I know that she can put on some great damn matches, but WWE is just criminally underutilizing her, and that's basically the whole deal.
Mhm.
But anyway, next, you know, we talked about him before when we were talking about EC3. Let's talk about the Velveteen Dream, and he actually got an endorsement from John Cena, not. Hold on, my camera went all staticky there for a minute. But anyway, talking about the Velveteen Dream, he got a huge endorsement from John Cena not too long ago, and the guy's only 23 years old. So we're in for another 2 decades of the Velveteen Dream, and if the Velveteen Dream has already had so many great feuds and matches, like with Aleister Black, and in that North American Championship ladder match, and he had that great match, probably one of the best matches of the year with Ricochet at NXT TakeOver Chicago, and now he's going to have a match with EC3. So I think Ricochet is going to be a damn good star. And it doesn't matter what brand they put him on because the Velveteen Dream is going to steal the show no matter who he's put in there with. And I think that Velveteen Dream is going to either be North American champion or NXT champion within the next 7 months, 7 to 8 months. This guy is going to be a champion, and next year he's going to get called up.
I think he should be. I think he should have a solid U.S. title reign.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. He could start at U.S. title. He could start at the U.S. title reign and work his way up. That's what I said they should do with Almas, but they're going ahead with Nakamura and Jeff Hardy. Oh, by the way, tonight, Jeff Hardy's actually hosting another U.S. Open challenge, which I like.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, which I like. I actually think that... What?
I think Dillinger.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I called Dillinger last week. Dillinger's a good one. Benjamin's a good one because I want to see them... tied up with Jeff Hardy. I think that would be very good. But back on the Velveteen Dream...
On behalf of Rusev.
Well, no, Rusev's already...
No, I'm saying having Aiden English go and accept it.
Oh yeah, that would be. Actually, no, he's not. He can't because he's fighting AJ tonight. I read the preview for SmackDown Live. But Velveteen Dream. Where do you see this guy in the next 2-3 years?
You know, I think he could have. He can be like a 2 or 3 time, like U.S. champion. And maybe it seems not right, but they've done it before. Like, who would have expected like Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas to actually be really good as a team together? You know what I mean?
I feel like they haven't reached their full potential though.
Yeah, because what I'm saying though is have maybe someone that you wouldn't expect Velveteen to team up with and make it really good.
I mean, you know, off the top of my head, the only person that I can really see Velveteen Dream teaming with is the guy that I was going to talk about next after Velveteen Dream, and that's Aleister Black. Because, you know, they had that big feud, and you can make them like a Team Hell No situation. You could have, but not now. Not now. You can have Velveteen Dream get a couple singles title wins. Aleister Black, he can go after the Intercontinental Championship, and then before you put him in a world title feud, you can bring them together, and you can have them win either the Raw or the SmackDown tag team titles, depending on who they are in the ring, or you know, depending on who they're in the ring with and which brands they are on. So I would definitely like that idea, Velveteen Dream, and in the next 5 years, I can definitely see Velveteen Dream as a world champion because he's proved it.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to the man that we were talking about with Velveteen Dream, and that's Aleister Black. Aleister Black, I've already said, is the modern-day version of The Undertaker, and I think Aleister Black could add a lot of value no matter which brand he's on. He's just like the Velveteen Dream. Aleister Black, I would love to see Aleister Black versus AJ Styles. That is a match made in heaven for me.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Aleister Black. What?
Either Wyatt versus Black or Ambrose versus Black. Well, that would be amazing, right?
That wouldn't be too bad, but I would like to see Ambrose versus Black make that an Extreme Rules match. And speak of the devil, Aleister Black's on my television screen right now. But I would definitely love to see Aleister Black versus Dean Ambrose. What other matches could we get out of Aleister Black?
Maybe with Rollins.
That would be a good one.
Or let's see. So many potential things. Well, with Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy would be a good one.
That would be amazing.
That's if Jeff Hardy's still going because he's been getting a lot of injuries. What?
Or Owens or Zayn.
Owens or Zayn would also be a good one, but Aleister Black definitely is going to be a successful superstar. I just hope they don't ruin Black.
What? For Aleister Black dream matches.
What?
Aleister Black versus Samoa Joe.
Oh man, I really wish Samoa Joe was still in NXT because Aleister Black made his debut in NXT the same, only a few months after Samoa Joe made his debut on the main roster. I so want to see an Aleister Black versus Samoa Joe match. But moving on, let's talk about Ricochet. We just passed an hour, so let's talk about Ricochet, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Ricochet, I think he is like the NXT version of AJ Styles, right along with Johnny Gargano. And I would love to see Ricochet versus Johnny Gargano down the line for the NXT Championship. We're getting Ricochet versus Adam Cole for the North American Championship, so we got Dream Match Central in NXT right now.
Yeah, I think maybe Ricochet versus Dolph Ziggler. That would be amazing.
Ricochet versus Dolph. Well, that's if Dolph is still employed, because remember, his contract isn't going to last forever.
Yeah.
Ricochet versus McIntyre.
Yeah. Ooh, I thought of one. Ricochet versus Nakamura.
Oh man, that's a world title feud right there. That's a main event of WrestleMania right there, if I've ever seen one, or if I've ever heard of one.
Or Ricochet versus Mysterio.
Well, he's coming back in October, and Ricochet's got all the time in the world. Mysterio's coming back in October, so if Mysterio signs a deal, Mysterio and Ricochet, WWE make it happen. And
I put that most hype, but this would be like a solid mid-card match. Ricochet versus Drew Gulak.
That actually wouldn't be a bad idea, but I wouldn't want to see Ricochet in the Cruiserweight division. I think Ricochet's too good for the Cruiserweight division. I actually think everyone on 205 Live is too good for 205 Live. They really need to take the 205 weight limit off and mix everyone in. But anyway, and the final actually a group of people that I want to discuss. And before we end this StormsStream is the Undisputed Era. And you're kind of cutting out there.
Wait, what?
You were kind of cutting out there. It was kind of going all staticky. But the Undisputed Era is... Oh, hang on. He, all of a sudden he just cut out. Just hang on 1 second, people. Just hang on 1 second, people.
So sorry, my Skype crashed.
Oh, your Skype crashed?
Yeah, it crashed.
Alright, no problem. But anyway, before we end this StormsStream, let's talk about the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong right now, and then you got Bobby Fish when he returns. Where can you see the Undisputed Era in the next couple of years?
Undisputed Era versus maybe, I'm not sure if it'd be good, a Reunited Shield.
That would actually be pretty good, but they need to book that right.
If I'm being honest, I don't want to see a Reunited Shield just because I know it wouldn't go good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know it would be a really good match for them versus Undisputed Era.
Yeah. I would love to see Adam Cole in a match versus Kevin Owens. That would be a damn good match. I would love to see Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly possibly versus. Let me think about it. I would love to see Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Usos.
Yeah.
If they want to, they could split up the Undisputed Era, have 2 on one brand and 2 on the other brand, and they can just take over both brands.
Yeah, or I think what they could do is, even if the Undisputed Era split up, each member could have a good singles career.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But I wouldn't split up Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. They really need to showcase what Bobby Fish can really do singles wise before they split him away from Kyle O'Reilly.
What I think they could do is have Undisputed Era dominate both brands. Have Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly winning. I would say their SmackDown tag team titles, and then have Adam Cole and Roderick Strong go and feud over the have a long but not too long feud over the IC title.
Well, who's the IC champion? Who's the IC champion though? Because then either Roderick Strong or Adam Cole is IC champion, and then one of them's got to go after the world title.
Yeah. Oh no, I actually thought of something even better. Have Roderick Strong win the IC title from Ziggler, and then Adam Cole out of nowhere turns on Strong and makes him lose it, and have a non-title feud, and then eventually in the future the feud will get revived into a Universal Championship feud.
Really? So you want to break Roderick Strong away from the Undisputed Era this early? I don't really think that's...
not this early, but sometime in the future.
All right, maybe in the future. Maybe that would work. All right, but anyway, we are approaching an hour and 10 minutes, and ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of the second annual StormsStream. I would like to thank each and every one of you who tuned in. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @TheDJStorms. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. Do not forget to follow him on Twitter at ReallyCringy, and follow him on Instagram at Wrestle97. I'm DJ Storms, he's Devin Crawley, and this has been a special edition StormsStream. You have a great week, and enjoy SmackDown.